So some of you may or may not know that Canada Food Guide recently changed. So they changed it from, again, the 4 food groups, the age groups and the stipulated recommendations for serving sizes per day and serving sizes, okay? That's changed now. What they have now is a very similar resource that we've been carrying for quite a while here. So although we still sort of reflect on food groups in this one on your right, the foods that are listed are exactly the foods that are sort of now recommended in this more generalized Canada's Food Guide. This Canada's Food Guide is much better. I have to say it is. I like it because it doesn't say, well, you're this age, you should have this many servings of food per day, you should have this many, this is how big your serving sizes should be. Tanya mentioned eating when we're hungry, right? So not necessarily always a big full meal at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but making sure that when we eat, what's on our plate is holistically beneficial to our health. What is on our plate? What is the quality of the food that we're eating? That's an important question. Sometimes the quality of the food we're eating is more important than how much we're eating. Because let's be honest, if every meal we find we're eating packaged and processed foods, we're actually depriving ourselves to some degree of actual nutrition. So in that sense, you could ask yourself, you know, just a very hypothetical question, obviously not a scientific question, but a hypothetical question. If I had one big meal a day that had all these amazing nutrients on my plate, is that more beneficial than having 3 meals a day that are very nutritionally deficient? So we know that we should snack, we should eat regularly throughout the day. It balances our energy levels. If we want to have balanced energy levels, be careful about what we put on our plate, okay? A variety of food sources. So protein foods in 1/4 of the plate, whole grain starches if we have starches, okay, in another 1/4 of the plate. And then on the other half of the plate, mostly vegetables and some fruit. So again, we've had this. We've created this plate quite a while ago. We've been promoting it in our communities for a long time now because we want people to know what are some specific food sources, all right, that's going to provide these nutrients. And Canada's Food Guide recently came out with this. So as I said, instead of promoting the 4 food groups, how much you should eat and how often, it now says, have plenty of vegetables and fruit. A nice general statement, right? Make water your first drink of choice because water is life. Water provides numerous benefits to our health and wellness. Sometimes we actually, again, we take it for granted because we don't realize just how many benefits it actually gives us. And then of course, choose whole grain foods rather than white starchy foods. Okay, so whole grain foods could be wild rice. We gave you guys a package of wild rice today. We're having it for lunch as well. It could also be other things like if you eat pasta, whole wheat pasta, could be quinoa, which is high in not only fiber but also has some protein. Okay, and wild rice also has protein too and fiber. So being aware of these other sources of starch or carbohydrates, so often I think it's safe to say most of us grew up believing that most of our plate should be filled with potatoes or pasta or rice or whatever the case may be. Or if we have soup, we need to have 3 slices of bread with it, right? Soup and bread, they do go nice together. But again, portion sizing and moderating our bread intake is extremely important. In fact, we can completely eliminate bread if we want to, and we will be better off, right? But again, it's not to say that we should do that because we don't tell people what to do. We don't tell people what to do. We provide information, we share information, we want people to choose. We want to empower people and motivate them to take control of their health and wellness by getting this information. So I have some of these available too. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot, but if anybody's interested, you can always come and contact us later on, and we will find a way to get it to you.